Hello everyone. So today we will read the chapter 2 from the book Fundamentals of Human Geography NCERT textbook for class 12. Chapter 2, the world population, distribution, density and growth. So let's get started. Not gold, but only women can make a people great and strong. Women who for truth and honor's sake and stand fast and suffer long. Women who toil while others sleep, who dare while others flee. They build a nation's pillars deep and lift it to the sky, according to Ralph Waldo Emerson. The people of a country are its real wealth. It is they who are the actual resources and make use of the country's other resources and decides its policies. Ultimately, a country is known by its people. It is important to know how many women or men a country has and how many children are born each year, how many people die and how, whether they live in cities or villages, can they read or write, and what work do they do. These are what you will study about in this unit. The world at the beginning of the 21st century recorded the presence of over 6 billion population. We shall discuss the patterns of their distribution and density here. Why do people prefer to live in certain regions and not in others? The population of the world is unevenly distributed. The remark of George B. Cressy about the population of Asia is that Asia has many places where people are few and few places where people are very many. Is true about the patterns of population distribution of the world also. Next point is pattern of population distribution in the world. Patterns of population distribution and density help us to understand the demographic characteristics of any area. The term population distribution refers to the way people are spaced over the Earth's surface. Broadly, 90% of the world population lives in about 10% of its land area. The 10 most populous countries of the world contribute about 60% of the world's population. Of these 10 countries, 6 are located in Asia. The most populous countries of the world are China, India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia and Mexico. Next point is density of population. Each unit of land has limited capacity to support people living on it. Hence, it is necessary to understand the ratio between the numbers of people to the size of land. This ratio is the density of population. It is usually measured in persons per square kilometer. Density of population is equal to population divided by area. For example, area of region X is 100 square kilometer and the population is 1,50,000 persons. The density of population is calculated 1,50,000 divided by 100. That means 1,500 persons per square kilometer. What does this tell you about region X? Next point is factors influencing the distribution of population. First is geographical factors. Availability of water. Water is the most important factor for life, so people prefer to live areas where fresh water is easily available. Water is used for drinking, bathing, cooking, and also for cattle, crops, industries, and navigation. It is because of this that river valleys among the most densely populated areas of the world. Next is landforms. People prefer living on flat plains and gentle slopes. This is because such areas are favorable for production of crops and to build roads and industries. The mountainous and hilly areas hinder the development of transport network and hence initially do not favor agriculture and industrial development. So these areas tend to be less populated. The Ganga plains are among the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains zones in Himalayas are scarcely populated. Next point is climate. An extreme climate such as very hot or cold desert is uncomfortable for human habitation. Areas with a comfortable climate where there is not much seasonal variation attract more people. Areas with very heavy rainfall or extreme and harsh climates have low population. Mediterranean region were inhabited from early periods in history due to their pleasant climates. Next point is soils. Fertile soils are important for agricultural and allied activities. Therefore, areas which have fertile loamy soils have more people living on them, as these can support intensive agriculture. Can you name some areas in India which are thinly populated due to poor soils? Next point is economic factors. First is minerals. Areas with mineral deposits attract industries. Mining and industrial activities generate employment. So, skilled and semi-skilled workers move to these areas and make them densely populated. For example, Katanga, Zambia copper belt in Africa is one such good example. Next point is urbanization. Cities offer better employment opportunities, educational and medical facilities, better means of transport and communication, good civic amenities, and attraction of city life draw people to these cities. It leads to rural to urban migration and cities grow in size. Mega cities of the world continue to attract large number of migrants every year. Next point is industrialization. Industrial belts provide job opportunities and attract large numbers of people. These include not just factory workers but also transport operators, shopkeepers, bank employees, doctors, teachers, and other service providers. The Kobe Osaka region of Japan is thickly populated because of the presence of number of industries. Next point is social and cultural factors. Some places attract more people because they have religious or cultural significance. In the same way, people tend to move away from places where there is a social and political unrest. Many a times, government offer incentives to people to live in sparsely populated areas or move away from the overcrowded places. Can you think of some examples from your region? Next point is population growth. The population growth or population change refers to the change in number of inhabitants of a territory during a specific period of time. This change may be positive as well as negative. It can be expressed either in terms of absolute number or in terms of percentage. Population change in an area is an important indicator of economic development, social upliftment, and historical and cultural background of the region. Next point, some basic concepts of population geography. Growth of population. Change of population in particular area between 2 points of time is known as growth of population. For example, if we deduct the population of India 2001, that is 102 crore, from population of 2011, that is 121 crore, then we shall get the growth of population, that is 18 crore in actual numbers. Next is growth rate of population. This is the change of population expressed in percentage. Next is natural growth of population. This is the population increased by difference between births and deaths in a particular region between 2 points of time. Natural growth, that is births minus deaths. Actual growth of population, this is birth minus death plus in migration minus out migration. Positive growth of population, that happens when birth rate is more than the death rate between 2 points of time, or when people from one country migrate permanently to a region. Negative growth of population, if the population decreases between 2 points of time, is known as negative growth of population. It occurs when the birth rate falls below the death rate or people migrates to other countries. Next point is components of population change. There are 3 components of population change, that is births, deaths and migration. The crude birth rate is expressed as number of live births in a year per thousand of population. It is calculated as crude birth rate is equal to B by P into 1000, whereas CBR or crude birth rate B by P. B is live births during the year divided by P. P is estimated mid-year population of the year. Death rate plays an active role in population change. Population growth occurs not only by increasing birth rate but also due to decreasing death rate. Crude death rate is a simple method of measuring mortality of an area. Crude death rate is expressed in terms of number of deaths in a particular year per thousands of population in a particular region. Crude death rate is equal to D divided by P into 1000. Crude death rate is equal to number of deaths divided by estimated mid-year population of the year. By and large mortality rates are affected by region's demographic structure, social advancement and levels of its economic development. Next point is migration. Apart from birth and death, there is another way by which population size changes. When people move from one place to another, the place they move from is called the place of origin and the place they move to is called the place of destination. The place of origin shows a decrease in population while the population increases in the place of destination. Migration may be interpreted as a spontaneous effort to achieve a better balance between population and resources. Migration may be permanent, temporary or seasonal. It may take place from rural to rural areas, rural to urban areas, urban to urban areas and urban to rural areas. Do you realize that same person is both an immigrant and an immigrant? Immigration is migrants who move into a new place are called the immigrants. Next point is emigration. Migrants who move out of a place is called emigrants. Can you think of reasons why people migrate? People migrate for a better economic and social life. There are two sets of factors that influence migration. The push factors make the place of origin seem less attractive for reasons like unemployment, poor living conditions, political turmoil, unpleasant climate, natural disasters, epidemics, and socio-economic backwardness. The pull factors make the place of destination seem more attractive than the place of origin for reasons like better job opportunities and living conditions, peace and stability, security of life and property, and pleasant climate. Human population increased more than 10 times in the past 500 years. In the 20th century itself, the population has increased 4 times. Next point is demographic transition. Demographic transitions theory can be used to describe and predict the future populations of any area. The theory tells us that population of any region changes from high births and high deaths to low births and low deaths as a society progresses from rural, agrarian and illiterate to urban, industrial and literate society. These changes occur in stages which are collectively known as the demographic cycle. Rural, agrarian through demographic transition changes into urban industrial societies. Explain the 3 stages model of demographic transition theory. The first stage has high fertility and high mortality because people reproduce more to compensate for the deaths due to epidemics and variable food supply. The population growth is slow and most of the people are engaged in agriculture where large families are an asset. Life expectancy is low. People are mostly illiterate and have low levels of technology. 200 years ago, all the countries of the world were in this state. Next is fertility remains high in the beginning of the second stage, but it declines with time. This is accompanied by reduced mortality rate. Improvements in sanitation and health conditions lead to decline in mortality. Because of this gap, the net addition to population is high. In the last stage, both fertility and mortality decline considerably. The population is either stable or grows slowly. The population becomes urbanized, literate, and high technical know-how and deliberately controls the family size. This shows that human beings are extremely flexible and are able to adjust their fertility. In the present day, different countries are at different stages of demographic transition. Population control measures. Family planning is the spacing or preventing the birth of children. Access to family planning services is a significant factor in limiting population growth and improving women's health. Propaganda, free availability of contraceptives, and tax disincentives for large families are some of the measures which can help population controls. Thomas Malthus, in his theory in 1798, stated that the number of people would increase faster than the food supply. Any further increase would result in a population crash caused by famine, disease and war. The preventive checks are better than the physical checks. For the sustainability of our resources, the world will have to control the rapid population increase. So this is for today. Thank you for listening. Thanks.